Okay, Elliot Rodger, you've been dead for about more than 3 years. And now, and it's coming on the fourth anniversary of your day of Retribution, which will be in exactly 5 months from now. I just thought I would make this video. Now, I know you have never heard of me and never will because, well, you're dead, and you've been dead for the past three and a half years. And, well, more than that, actually, as you would say. But I decided to make this video anyway. Okay, Elliot. I see 3 reasons why you have trouble, why you couldn't get a girlfriend. 1, you never tried. Not once throughout your manifesto or autobiography or any of your videos did you ever mention approaching a single female. You just sat around with your Gucci sunglasses and your nice BMW trying to, hoping a girl would come to you. I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. You see, you got to approach them. That's the way it works, Elliot. You have to go out and approach women. And yes, you will get rejected. In fact, you'll get rejected at about 80% of the time, assuming you're really, really good at approaching women. And if you're not good at approaching women, you'll be rejected pretty much all the time. That's just the way it works, Elliot. Deal with it. Second off, I see that you have because of the way you look, act, and dress, you have gay vibes coming out of you like smoke out of a locomotive's exhaust port, okay? I mean, you just have gay vibes just blaring like an air raid siren. And a lot of people suspect that you were a repressed homosexual. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. In fact, I don't. Not just necessarily, I don't agree with that. I know you were straight. But man, unless you told me, I would think you were gay. But anyway, another thing is that you never, not only did you ever not approach women, but you seemed very, very attachy and clinging, like a stalker. Now, that tends to freak a lot of women out, okay? They are afraid that if, they let you into their lives, that you, in the slightest, they're afraid you will become obsessed with them, and if they try to avoid you, that's when you will turn into this freaky serial killer type guy. And another thing, Elliot, is didn't you ever hear of pornography? There's tons of it. A whole bunch of it. Watch the movie Don John. It will cure you of your sexual frustration. It's virtually unlimited. It's limited only in the most technical sense. There are billions of pornographic images online, and there's more of it than you could ever want for free. You don't have to pay a single penny for it. Now, unlike a lot of people, Elliot, I read your manifesto, all 137 pages of it. And I know that you had only a small exposure to it because you didn't because I think you said something about seeing it watching an older kid watching porn in a cyber cafe, and it flipped you out. Now, that begs the question. It really does. What the hell? I mean, seriously. I wonder, you always talked about being desperate to lose your virginity. And I just wonder what the hell that would have been like. I mean, would it have flipped you out, the idea of sticking your dick into a girl? I mean, it just, I don't know. You seem to have a lot of problems dealing with people and touching and things like that, which is what sex basically is. And it really does beg the question, Elliot. What would the act of performing sex have been like for you? Would it have freaked you out the way you were repulsed by pornography? The world will never know. And you will never know, because you're dead. You died a virgin. And as a result of that, you started up quite a shitstorm, which is exactly what you knew you were going to do and what you wanted to do. I mean, people were talking about you. People were saying what a horrible person you were, and people have even made parody videos about you. Hell, there's even been a few rap songs about you, involving you. And there's memes about you and everything. And quite frankly, Elliot, that whole spree killer, rampage killer thing, you sucked at it. You only killed 6 people. 6. And wounded 14. That is a very poor job. Your day of retribution was pretty climactic. At least compared to your what you wanted to do on the day of retribution. I mean, you wanted to have a whole torture chamber in your apartment. You wanted to destroy a whole sorority house full of hot blonde girls and then set it on fire. And then you wanted to drive around Isla Vista just shooting people at random. And, Elliot, you pretty much fucked that whole thing up pretty badly. And, anyway, Elliot, you were just so over the top with your narcissism. You were like a Dragon Ball Z villain or an anime villain, like a Frieza or a Cell or, just all this maniacal laughter you do. It's kind of like, well, it's more of a maniacal chuckle because you were more like Also, Elliot, a lot of people tried to reached out to try and help you. I mean, but you gave up too quickly. Like, you read how hard it was you wanted to be a screenplay writer, and you gave up as soon as you found out how hard it was. And it's like, your dad was the assistant director for the Hunger Games. Your mother was close personal friends with George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. I mean, you already had a hell of a head start in that field, but you didn't use it. Also, you quit skateboarding because you saw another kid who was better than you. What the fuck, dude? How else are you supposed to get like Tony Hawk? Tony Hawk didn't become Tony Hawk by giving up. He became Tony Hawk by learning from those kids. Why not go out there and learn from those kids and let them teach you how? And therefore, when you get as good as them, you find a guy who's better than them, and you get to that guy, you just get teacher after teacher after teacher until you can be professional. And also, Elliot, you had one janitorial job, and that you quit the day you got. Seriously, dude, what the fuck? I mean, I've had jobs like that I hated, but I mean, everybody is going to have to do menial work. Hell, haven't you read the 12 labors of Hercules? Hercules had to, I think it was the fifth labor, if I remember correctly. He was forced to clean the staples out in a day, from cows that were immortal and things like that, and were just shit factories. Okay, he had to do the shittiest job in the world. And believe it or not, it was not only meant to be impossible, but humiliating as well. But you know what? All that boredom, humiliation, and degradation, I got some advice for you. Suck that shit the fuck up and get it done. Now anyway, Elliot, now that we've covered that, I just want you to know that your life was really, really lame from start to finish. You say you have a lot to talk about. Like, what do you have to talk about? World of Warcraft? Hating society? Just being locked up in your room? I mean, there was a guy who said that he talked to you for a long ass time, and he had to talk to you for 5 minutes to get one sentence out of you. And you see, the problem with you, Elliot, is that you couldn't see your own problems. You couldn't see what was wrong with you. You were simply too narcissistic to see the advantages given to you, the problems that you had, and everything else. You see, it's now too late for you, Elliot, because you're a dead spree killer. And right now, if there is an afterlife, you're probably in hell. And if there is no afterlife, thank you for saving us a bunch of tax money by killing yourself. In any case, this will conclude my video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you can, leave a donation. It's for a good cause. See ya.